Smack you. Hey. I'm going to say it again to those of you watching on Zoom. Good morning. I'm Kathy Malrich still. My pronouns are she, her, and I look forward to sharing leadership of today's service with the UCH Social Justice Roundtable. Whoever you are, wherever you live, whomever you love, whatever you do for a living, you're welcome at the Unitarian Church of Harrisburg. We invite you to join us for coffee hour following this morning's service, either in the common room downstairs or on Zoom. I invite you to take this moment to hold our space here sacred by silencing your electronic devices and prepare yourself to be present. Online or in person, we're grateful for this time together.
We'll build them carefully, worn out, but we'll give them gardens instead of ashes. Oh, we'll build a love where peace is born. Come build a love where siblings and neighbors, anointed by God, may then create peace where justice shall roll down like the waters and peace like the everlasting stream. We'll build a love building up ancient cities, raising up many nations from old, restoring ruins and generations. Oh, we'll build a love for people so bold. Come build a love where siblings and neighbors, anointed by God, may then create peace where justice shall roll down like the waters and peace like ever-flowing streams. Come build a love where the mantles of praises resound sweet, where lives of righteousness stand where people all come build a land my people receive. Come build a love where siblings and neighbors, anointed by God, may then create peace where justice shall roll down like waters and peace like the ever-flowing stream.
Okay. All right.
My bad, my bad. It's okay. We have chosen to bring ourselves here to this sanctuary today to gather as a community of faith. We join together in solidarity as a covenanted people who are drawn together by the promises of connection and the mysterious pull of the unanswerable. As seekers, wanderers, appreciators of nature, and creators of connection, our paths have converged today so that we might become present to the spirit that is worship, and so let us worship together.
Each week, it is our tradition to light a chalice, which casts a circle of light to hold us all. As we create anew this symbol of our shared faith, let's reflect on these words by Maureen Killerin. In these hard times, let us look first to the response of love. In the midst of challenge, may our chalice flame bear witness to the inherent worth and dignity of every human being. In the midst of uncertainty, may our chalice be a beacon of encouragement, that our values may guide our choices. Let us look first to the response of love.
So today's time for all ages is Get Up, Stand Up, based on the song by Bob Marley, adapted by his daughter, Cedella Marley.
This is participatory, and we will ask you to join us in song. Please rise.
Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
When you meet someone talking big and thinking small, and their stinging words push your back against the wall. No matter the silly games that people play, you have hopes and dreams they can't take away. When their words bite, stand up for what is right.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
Some people need to be the pond's biggest fish. They don't speak the truth and only want their greedy wish. Remember to be true, the best of yourself. Then you'll be a friend to everybody else. Don't just sit tight, be a bright light.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
Other
Get
people
up, stand up. Whoops, sorry. Go for it.
Other people parade, yes, we do get excited here. Other people parade around with their noses stuck up in the air. They strut around all puffed up, only thinking for what they care. But if you know the value of what life is worth, you will find your feet firmly planted on the earth. Love will, with all might, be true to what is right.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
Be a good neighbor and cherish your sisters and brothers. Practice being kind to yourself and to one another. What you give in goodwill shall be returned back to you. Share your truth and compassion. Together, there's much we can do. So now we see the light. We're gonna stand up for our rights.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights.
I would like to start my time with you by doing a mini visualization. I invite you to get comfortable and close your eyes. Picture yourself engaging in your favorite spiritual practice. What is your body doing? Who else is with you? What sounds do you hear? What do you smell? And most importantly, how do you feel? Now I invite you to open your eyes and briefly share with your neighbor what you felt while imagining engaging in your favorite spiritual practice. Thank you. I am guessing that you were feeling relaxed, rejuvenated, and connected to your sacred. Maybe you were even in this building on a Tuesday evening doing mindful meditation. In fact, the common definition of a spiritual practice is an activity that you do regularly to feel a sense of peace and connection to the sacred. Okay, let's try another visualization. Again, I invite you to get comfortable and close your eyes. But this time, imagine you are standing in front of a stranger's door. You're about to knock on that door and invite that stranger to talk to you about the upcoming election. What is your body doing? Who else is with you? What do you hear? What do you smell? And most importantly, how do you feel? Again, I invite you to open your eyes and briefly share with your neighbor what you felt while imagining yourself canvassing door to door. Thank you for sharing. Again, I'm guessing that most of you were not feeling peaceful. You're probably juggling a clipboard, a bag of flyers, and your canvassing app open on your phone. Maybe it's hot, or cold, or raining, or you might just be an introvert who needs another cup of coffee. While all of these uncomfortable feelings are understandable, for me, the chaos of voter engagement creates a true sense of peace and a palpable connection to our UU values that radiate out from love. In fact, it is stunning how well each of the new UU principles represents what I am striving for during my volunteer work with Power to the Hill. Last year from this pulpit, I told you a love story. 17 years ago, I fell in love with a neighborhood, a vibrant, multicultural neighborhood about 10 minutes from here called Allison Hill. Along with frequently enjoying the many delicious food options in the neighborhood, my current relationship with Power to the Hill is primarily based on my involvement with the UCH outreach program, Power to the Hill. Power to the Hill was founded here at UCH 8 years ago. The mission of Power to the Hill is to encourage and sustain expanded voter engagement, more active citizenship, and positive community action in Allison Hill, a community of people who are primarily from historically marginalized groups. This year, I'm not here to repeat my love story, but to prove to myself, and maybe to all of you, that the voter engagement work I do in Allison Hill is truly a UU spiritual practice. With love at the center of the new UU values, voter engagement that is driven by love must be a spiritual practice, right? I would like to talk in particular about 3 of the 7 new principles. Principle number 1, interdependence. We will create and nurture sustainable relationships of respect. Power to the Hill's voter engagement is more about our relationships with the people of Allison Hill than it is about voting. We have been showing up month after month for 8 years, whether it's a presidential election year or not. Relationships are at the center of what we do. A fellow canvasser recently said, "You really have to enjoy getting to know the person in front of you." And I agree, it's truly a pleasure and a joy. For example, if it weren't for engaging in this effort, I wouldn't now be friends with Kim Bell. I met Kim on election day a couple of years ago. She came riding across the parking lot on her e-bike at St. Francis Soup Kitchen. She was the judge of elections at this precinct and wanted to know what Lita, the co-director of Power to the Hill, what Lita and I were up to as we handed out brownies and stickers to voters at her polling location. Honestly, she scared me a bit, and I thought we might be in trouble. To the contrary, we became quick friends as strong women wanting to make a difference. Over a decade ago, Kim lost her teenage son to senseless gun violence, just weeks before the end of her prison sentence. Kim has turned this tragedy into motivation to help others. She started an organization called Loving Memories Movement to support those who have lost loved ones to senseless gun violence. She also can often be found sitting outside, connecting with the neighbors, like the older man that she's worried might be getting a bit depressed, or the 2 immigrant boys who just immigrated from Honduras. Kim and I have co-hosted 3 porch parties outside her apartment. Power to the Hill serves the hot dogs and updates voter registration. Meanwhile, Kim sets up tables full of donated items to provide necessities to her neighbors, as we combine a passion for voter engagement with a compassionate worldview born out of tragedy. My friend Kim is sassy and selfless and dynamic. She is an all-around jokester who will keep you on your toes while also loving you to the bones. Principle number 2, pluralism. We embrace our differences and commonalities with love and curiosity. We embrace our differences and commonalities with love and curiosity. During my voter engagement work, I encounter a more diverse group of humans than I do in any other part of my life. And the goal is never to convince these humans to vote one way or another. The goal is to understand why the person chooses to vote one way or another, or maybe they choose not to vote at all. I can then offer support to make the voting process more accessible and rewarding for them. Principle number 3, justice. We support the use of inclusive democratic processes to make decisions within our society. This principle is obvious, I think. Everyone deserves a vote. And we must focus on people who have been historically marginalized. It is a fact that people living in poverty and people of color vote at a lower rate than the average. To have true inclusive democracy, this must change. Voter engagement gives me a reason to knock on a stranger's door and get to know them. It gives me a chance to hear diverse perspectives, build respectful relationships, and maybe even change my own stubborn mind from time to time. Voter engagement allows me to use my time, money, and attention to promote a more inclusive democracy. Does it bring me a sense of peace and a connection to the sacred? Absolutely it does. At the end of a voter engagement day, I feel blessed, exhausted, inspired, and energized. Want to try it for yourself? Please see your order of service for information about our next voter engagement day on September 13th, as well as how to be added to the Power to the Hill email list. May we all find sacred connection as we strive to make the world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. may we pause for a moment of healing silence? Let's join together in the spirit of meditation as we hear these words by Michel Legrave, in betweenness. You, we, are in between right now, in between what was and what will be, in between who we were and who we will become, in between letting go and embracing, in between saying hello and saying goodbye. In betweenness, it's a thing. In betweenness is a time of fullness, a time of anticipation, a time of hope, a time of worry, a time of sadness. In betweenness is a time of waiting, waiting for news, waiting for departure, waiting for arrival, waiting for death, waiting for life. In betweenness is a time of transformation, a time of reflection, a time of action, a time of growing, a time of becoming. During this time of in-betweenness, of knowing and not knowing, let us enter into the silence together. Amen, and blessed be.
Giving life the shape of justice, roots of meek laws, wings set me free, Spirit of life, come to me, come to
Now is a time when we engage as a community in the sharing of our joys and sorrows, our concerns and milestones. When we join together to hold each other in support and in celebration, we deepen our sense of interrelationship. We might find our sorrows eased and our joys magnified. I invite you to share them now through writing them on a slip or typing them in the virtual chat. Please indicate whether your message is okay to share out loud. You can also honor whatever you're holding in your heart by placing a stone in the water of community. Please come down the center aisle, return to your seats by the side aisles. Spoken or unspoken, our hearts join with yours in carrying all that life brings.
stones, one for those who are with us online, and the other for joys and sorrows that remain in our hearts. Joanne Scotia, mother of Jeff Scorza, 97 years old, entered a memory care unit in Hershey this week. Her son Richard, who is autistic, has lived with her his entirely 60-some years, now has his own apartment, an independent living facility, but not together for the first time ever. Please wish them both luck. This isn't marked whether to share or not, but I think Sarah would be okay with that. I finally brought my cat to college, and the first week of classes was rough and exhausting. From Kevin Geist, concern for my father that must have a stomach tumor removed on Friday. Joy for my rejuvenating vacation where I ate all I wanted and lost 3 pounds. Sorrow for the injustice that Andy did exactly what I did during our vacation and he lost 20 pounds. Life isn't always fair. This from Cordell Affeld. Larry Beyer continues on the slow journey of recovery from his stroke last week. He is in Helen Simpson Rehab, internal to Osteopathic Hospital until September 9, to be followed by 4 weeks of outpatient therapy. He is much energized by your kind contacts. From Carol Buskirk, the 2025-26 year has barely begun and 2 children have already been killed and 17 others injured by school gun violence. How long will this go in? I'm heartbroken. From Barb Byrne, it's a joy to celebrate Denny's 86th birthday tomorrow. And from Jim and Nan Kavanaugh, Nan is at home with the same hand pain that took her to the emergency room 2 weeks ago. Jim is before you with a cracked kneecap, which heals very, very slowly, but healing does happen. This from the Unitarian Universalist Association. We join in grief and solidarity with Annunciation Catholic Church and the entire Minneapolis community after Wednesday's horrific shooting. As the Reverend Jen Crow of First Universalist Church of Minneapolis reminds us, our job right now is to make our Sunday prayers real, to show up for our community and ourselves and each other, showing through our actions that you are not alone, we are holding together. We mourn the lives lost and hold the injured and grieving in our hearts. For all that has been shared and those many connections we hold deep in our hearts and yet remain unspoken, we journey with each other in love.
Love is the spirit of this church, and service is our gift. We say these words every Sunday, and it's always really meaningful to me. I had heard about UCH, and particularly the Market Street Church, from Nan Kavanaugh at the League of Women Voters many years ago. In later years, actually, Jim and other men were allowed to join. I loved the thought of the coffee after the service and the warm welcome. I came to the Market Street Church about a year after my husband died. I had sold our business and wanted a place to feel welcome and to contribute. I had been part of the League of Women Voters for many years and had done voter registration at various community events with my friend Mary Grace Newsom. And at that time, the League studied very carefully, and voter registration was a very serious event. And also, that we took very seriously, greeting newly naturalized citizens at the county and federal naturalizations. At UCH, I soon started helping with the coffee service and became comfortable in the kitchen. There were breakfasts for the neighborhood community every month. I loved helping by cracking eggs and waiting on tables. Ned Smith brought local vegetables to share. Since I've been helping to fill out voter registration forms for many years with the League of Women Voters, I provided voter registration forms for breakfast, at the breakfast sometimes, at appropriate times. When Wendy and Lita Beam started up Power to the Hill, it seemed natural that I should join. I thoroughly enjoyed canvassing with Power to the Hill for several years. I've missed that activity in the last year or two when getting up and down the stairs to various apartments is not really a good thing to do. But I'm still active with Power to the Hill and with League of Women Voters because I do love this country and our neighbors. I know that working together makes us stronger, and everyone needs to have a voice. At this point, I can make phone calls and fold flyers with Marilyn McHenry. At the last canvassing 2 weeks ago, I had the joy of sitting out front of the church with Veronica, a very pleasant companion, we talked with a number of neighbors who were already registered, but we wanted them to know how important it is to vote this next election that will be regarding the judges. It was not a matter of telling them for whom to vote, but of suggesting how important a decision it is and it's potentially in their hands if they choose to vote. The other outgrowth of UCH on Allison Hill, of course, is Gather the Spirit for Justice. And it's good to know that GTSFJ also is continuing great good work from the First Church of the Brethren on Hummel Street. With many UCH church participants are participating there every Saturday. And they serve nourishing foods and supply needed toiletries and provide a gathering place, a place of welcome. The League of Women Voters of the Capital Region is focused this year on education about the retention elections for several Pennsylvania Supreme and Superior and Commonwealth Court judges. Since retention elections don't occur every year, it's important to remind the voters to be aware of the decisions that have been made by the courts over the past 10 years of their service. And from the amount of state money that was spent to influence other recent judicial retention elections, it's anticipated that a lot of money will be flowing into Pennsylvania to influence this election. My neighbor at Ecumenical Community, Bonnie, showed me a note that she had found in her email inbox telling her, "Vote no for all races." So my belief is that one of the parties may be targeting a certain voters of a certain political persuasion. Please see the flyers about Pennsylvanians for Modern Courts that are available in the lobby. There is a program coming up on September the 8th that will help you make some idea of what these judges have done. The memory of Ned Smith keeps popping up in my reflections. And also remembering that we had meditations with Chuck Daly and others at Gather the Spirit for Justice. I believe Ned is as close to being a saint as any other person I have ever known. Ned, with Margaret Carreau, brought awareness to several of us about the Poor People's Campaign. And I still follow Bishop William Barber's sermons. I feel blessed to have been a part of these experiences with many of my friends at the Unitarian Church of Harrisburg.
Thank you. Mary Henninger-Voss is under the weather, and I prepared this reflection as one who cares about voter engagement. I began reaching out to voters in the mid-90s when my friend and fellow UU Liz Renda was running for the Pennsylvania General Assembly in the 104th District where Nan and I live. At first, I had to keep in the background because some of my work in the Pennsylvania Department of Community Affairs was federally funded and political work was not allowed. But that funding went away. Sound familiar? And I became more active, trying to mobilize enough voters in our area to overcome the incumbent's advantage in a very gerrymandered district, which continued until the latest round of redistricting. At last! I knocked on lots of doors in February, for instance, before the primary, helping to get enough signatures to get my candidate on the primary ballot. I spent a lot of weekend afternoons in cold February weather meeting Democrats and explaining why signatures mattered in Pennsylvania following practices begun in William Penn's time, I think. But because I went only to registered Democrats, I didn't need to explain why registering to vote made sense, only signing and then voting in the primary. When we were all locked down by COVID-19 restrictions, I figured out how to print postcards on our computer. Then Nan and I addressed them by hand, hoping that people would read what was printed on the other side, ever so carefully chosen to fit in the limited space. Not exactly engagement, but it was what I could do. Actually, we did this, and her excellent handwriting may well have helped. Thinking about today's topic has led me to rethink my future canvassing efforts as I try to engage in conversations with the voters I meet. I've realized that really listening to people will likely be more satisfying and meaningful for both of us. Seeking quality over interaction along with a commitment to vote will be a new experience and one I look forward to. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Sharon Vaughn. I'm a board member here at UCH. And the Unitarian Church of Harrisburg is, as always, an intentionally gathered congregation of freely thinking, loving people. The church is created, sustained, and supported by us. Each week, we take up an offering where we ask each other to share money to support the church. We also use half this money to help a charity which is doing important work to improve the world. For the month of August, we're sharing with UU Justice PA. UU Justice PA is our statewide advocacy group that pursues justice by developing relationships with legislators and taking actions that lead to just public policies. It is your UU vote in Harrisburg. The UU Justice PA Education Fund coordinates justice-related educational initiatives specific to Pennsylvania. In just a moment, when Chris starts playing the piano, the greeters will start passing the offering plates around. You can put cash or checks in the plate when it comes by. You can also donate online by scanning the QR code on the back of your order of service. If you wish to contribute online, visit uchbg.org and scroll to the bottom of the page for options. You may also scan the QR code found on the back of your service, which I think I just said. Your financial support and commitment matter. Please consider giving what you are able.
We dedicate these gifts to the work of this congregation, weaving a tapestry of compassion and action, faith and fellowship, hope and wholeness. We affirm our mission to encourage, equip, and empower, and we ask that you join in the affirmation of our covenant with one another. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance in our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. The stories of our living brings a song of brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
These benediction words come from Don Shell Cooley. Let us go out into the world singing. Let us go into the world singing songs that proclaim liberty, songs that turn ashes into garlands, songs that bind up the afflicted and those who mourn, songs that like oaks have roots that grow deep and stand strong. Let us go out into the world singing. May it be so. Amen.